It was a quiet Tuesday morning when I noticed Karen and a few other HOA members approaching my tool shed. Apparently, they had decided it was their duty to inspect the property. What they didn't realize was that my shed contained the neighborhood's entire internet hub, servers, routers, and communication equipment that controlled broadband for dozens of homes. Any interference here would not only be illegal, it could also disrupt critical services. Karen strutted up to the shed, clipboard in hand. "We're just checking to make sure you're in compliance with HOA rules," she said, attempting to sound confident. I activated the PA system. "Karen, step away from the shed. You are trespassing. This is private property, and that shed contains critical infrastructure. Any attempt to access it will be treated as illegal entry." She laughed. "I've called the cops. They'll make you let us in." What she didn't know was that my security cameras were live streaming every moment to local law enforcement, who were already on standby. As Karen attempted to open the shed door, an automated lock engaged, preventing her from gaining access. Motion sensors triggered, alerting my trained security team and K-9 units. Karen froze. What is happening?" she shouted, panic evident in her voice. I calmly responded, "Karen, you have no authority here. This is private property, and you are trespassing. The servers in this shed provide internet for the neighborhood. Tampering with them is a federal offense." Her confident smirk faltered as she realized the severity of the situation. Within minutes, deputies arrived. Karen attempted to argue that she was enforcing HOA rules, but the officers were unimpressed. They immediately recognized the security measures, reviewed the surveillance footage, and confirmed her trespassing. "Ma'am," one deputy said firmly, "you are on private property without permission. Attempting to access this shed constitutes criminal trespassing and interference with critical infrastructure. Step away now." Karen's protests were frantic. She attempted to wave her clipboard as though it could grant her authority, but the deputies escorted her off the property. Her actions were fully documented, and the HOA board was informed. Karen's privileges were permanently revoked, and she was warned that any future attempts to access private property would result in arrest. Meanwhile, my shed and its contents remained completely secure. The servers continued to operate without interruption, providing internet and communication services to the entire neighborhood. Karen's attempt to assert HOA control had backfired spectacularly, resulting in legal consequences, public humiliation, and permanent loss of authority. Neighbors who had witnessed the incident were shocked. Karen had believed she could intimidate and control property she did not own. Instead, she had triggered law enforcement, endangered critical infrastructure, and been publicly humiliated. By the end of the day, the shed was secure, my property fully protected, and Karen's rogue attempts to assert HOA authority completely neutralized. Karen had thought bulldozing my tool shed or attempting to access it would give her control over my property. Instead, she triggered law enforcement, public embarrassment, and permanent revocation of HOA authority, all while my critical infrastructure remained fully protected and operational. Karen bulldozed my tool shed, figuratively speaking. Instead, she faced arrest, public humiliation, and permanent loss of HOA privileges, proving once again that rogue HOA members cannot interfere with private property or critical infrastructure without consequences.